Okay, so for this craft you're going to need some scotch tape, some scissors, and also some paper. And you can use plain white paper, but I had some printed paper laying around that I wanted to use up. You're going to need 3 sheets of paper, 1, 2, 3. And to make a smaller snowflake, I'm going to fold the paper in half, making 2 rectangles, crease it on the edge so that it's easier to separate. And then I'm going to lay it flat and just tear it along the edge, and it should tear clean for you as if you would cut it. Only I think it's straighter when I do it this way than when I actually cut it. Okay, then fold it over on an angle so that you're trying to make a square out of it. And then what you're going to do is you're going to get rid of this extra rectangle of white paper. We don't want it. So we're going to toss it. We're going to cut it off right here. Okay, so you're cutting that part off, so go ahead and cut it off. And you don't need it anymore. Bye-bye. So now you're going to do your other rectangle, fold it over, cut off the end. You know this bit. So take your triangle, you're going to make sure that you crease it really well, and you're going to fold it in half again along that bottom crease. You're going to make a smaller triangle basically, and again make sure that you fold your creases really well because we're going to be cutting across the crease, so if you don't make sure that it's creased really well, your lines will turn up all funny. So make sure that you cut along this part right here, this fold. And you're going to cut parallel to the bottom, so the open side. You're going to cut 3 lines equally spaced, and you're going to cut across to where you're almost cutting through, but not all the way. So cut until you've almost reached the other side, but don't actually cut through. Okay, so now that you've done this, go ahead and open it up. Oh, and you want to make sure that you do it with your other set of triangles, but I cut that out to save some time, so it wasn't a super long video. Okay, so unfold your triangle and you're going to see it looks like a bunch of squares cut within squares. So separate your pages, and be careful when you do this because if you're not careful you can accidentally tear the paper. So go ahead and pull it apart, and you're going to work with them one at a time from now on. So you have it unfolded, laying flat, and you'll see the little squares within a square. So the very center part, you're going to take the corners that are free from your triangle, from your square, and you're going to fold them over. They're like little triangles. And you're going to make the corners touch, and you're actually going to hold them together and not fail at it like I'm doing. And then you're going to take a little piece of tape and just tape together to make sure that's secure. Don't throw your tape and act like a dork because no one thinks that's cute. So go ahead and tape your 2 corners together like so, and then you're going to flip it over, and you're going to do the next set of corners. So you're going to take those 2 corners, put them together in the same way, and you're going to tape them. And basically you're going to do this back and forth. So tape it here, and then just like before you're going to flip it over again before you do the next set of corners. So take these 2 corners and put them together, and then you're going to tape them. And you're going to do the same thing with the next set. You're going to flip it over and then tape it. And you can really see that it's starting to come to life. It's very 3D, but it's not quite a snowflake yet. So go ahead and tape that last one. So now you finish this one, and it looks great and it's 3D and you can see it's going to be cool. And now you need to do it with the rest of these papers. Okay, so I went ahead and finished doing the rest of them, so you should have 6 total. Now what you're going to do is take them and you're going to attach them at the corner, so it doesn't matter which end you do, just make sure that you have 2 corners, and you're going to tape them together using that same rolled up tape ball ring thing. So roll your tape over I swear, I was an English major. I have vocabulary, I promise. Stick it on one side and then stick your corners together. Make sure you press them really well. It's going to be the center of your snowflake, so you want it to stick together. Now you're just going to go ahead and do the same thing with the other 4 pieces. So you're going to stick them together, so you'll have a total of 6 on there, and it'll really look like a snowflake by the time you do all of this. And I sped it up so you guys get the gist by watching. So now you can see that it looks like a snowflake, but it's really floppy and it wouldn't really hang up very well. So we're going to fix this. You're going to take the edges where they touch, so right here, and you're going to tape them together. So it's anytime it comes together in the middle like that, we're going to tape it. So go ahead and roll over your tape again, making a little double-sided tape ring sticky thing, rubber bob, that I will figure out what it's called eventually, and stick them together. I swear, I know English. And you're going to do that at all of the points where it comes together. You're just going to do the double-sided tape. And if someone calls you and you don't know who they are, don't answer and block their call. And then continue on. I didn't know who it was and I didn't want to answer. So go ahead and stick them all together like that in all of those pieces. And this is really going to keep the structure of your snowflake a lot better. So now I'll pan up in just a second and you can see, ta-da, it's a snowflake and an Emily in her pajamas. Yeah, those are my PJs and my hair's not brushed, and yeah. Bye! Okay, so I wanted to show you 2 other options. So the first option is to make it hang, like a hanging one that you could hang from a tree or from a nail. You're just going to cut a hole in the top of one of the corners and feed a ribbon through. Don't struggle with it like I do because I'm awkward. And then at the top you're going to tie a bow. And once you've done that, you'll be able to hang it from a tree, or you could hang it on your door. And the other option that I wanted to show you is how to make a giant one. And basically you do everything the same, only you don't cut the paper in half at the beginning. So if you want to make a giant one, you follow the same steps, but basically you use a bigger piece of paper. And it looks like this. And those are your 2 options. And thanks so much for watching. I will see you next time. Bye!